The first artwork we're going to get into is from an untitled artist, well, unnamed artist, and it's an untitled work. Um, it's a rumor title, and I mean, when you want to radiate from darkness, um, your expressive, vivid energy, it can be difficult. It can be very, very difficult because you're in environments like Illustrated that don't know if it wants to be dark or not. Because I feel like that's what this mesmerizing, you know, black and whiteness is about. Darkness, lights. It's mesmerizing. It's mesmerizing. It's like confusion. And if you're confused, it's like you don't know if you want to be darker or not, right? And at the same time, it's mesmerizing. It's hypnotizing. And people that want to express what's inside of them don't even know when or how or can or should they express this vividness. So it's a it's an illustration that always, for me, when I see it in the creative hub here, it just it always makes me just think and inspires me to create and you know, develop more and more and more, especially in the ways of helping other artists, right? Like knowing other artists feel just like this and being able to assist people that feel like this is just, you know, it inspires that every day. So I mean, as artists, man, you gotta keep content around you that inspires you to be the best you. I think that's what's important, and that's, you know, that's what art is. You know, we can talk about aesthetic, we can talk about the beauty, we can talk about curves and all that stuff. But for me, looking at this and understanding that struggle that artists have, and you know, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. You know, it's just, you know, you need that consultantship, and that's what we do here at From Togo to Bentley, right? We consult with artists to have them, you know, grow and go. Because I think it's important. I think it's important to grow and go. I think it's important. It's really, really important to grow and go. Like very, very important. Um, there's other artists. There's other artists that I want to highlight. A lot of other artists I want to highlight. A lot of other artists. But like this is number one, right? This is number one, and this is just the dry, the really, really dry, rough understanding, and not understanding, but run of what, you know, how our episodes will go, right? This is just like those three parts of how our episodes will go, and our episodes will grow in time and they'll grow in duration. But you know, for our first episode, you know, I'm just showing, you know, here and there little things that inspire us to do what we do for other artists. That's what today's about. Really, really is. Really about that. One other piece that I did want to get into is off camera. So I'm gonna probably do something that I might do here and there. I might not do it here and there. Might be more prepared, but I'm gonna step off camera and I'm gonna get this piece because this piece I've always it's always like really, really inspired me. So I just wanted to bring it on camera. This is kind of off, you know. It's not planned, but you know, sometimes you gotta run off the ramp. So this piece was done by an artist here in Philly. Her name is Exhibit, and check her stuff out. You know, we'll definitely tag her to the episode. And this piece right here has always inspired me just to understand the divine feminine's form in a way that I think is neglected, um, mainstream wise. But this piece has always been one of those pieces that, okay, is this upside down? No. So yeah, this piece has always inspired me, and definitely wanted to put it on camera and show people, and let y'all know that like even visual artists are accepted here, because I feel like the visual arts propel the sonic arts, they propel the culinary, they propel a lot of things because they're like that visual guide to the comprehending the physical world. So yeah, I definitely wanted to show y'all that. And then the frame that I picked have this, I think it's like flowers and stuff going around the frame, and I've always thought that this frame was really complementary to this piece because when you understand the divine feminine, then you understand that flowers and the divine feminine, they really have a unique relationship, that's adjacent to unity, love, and peace, and all of that stuff. So, and I wanted to talk about that because the last thing that we get into on our episodes, not another dice roll, but these pink cards. We call them love cards. And oh yeah, before I get into that, so this piece is not titled, but like I said, we'll tag the artist, and she can talk more about the piece in depth with us, maybe on this podcast, or maybe on Instagram, where we can go live with artists. We've been wanting to do that with a few artists now. We've just been building the database for that, building the list of artists that we want to do that, and prepping them for it, and running the campaigns of market developing, the content to advertise the live appropriately. So yeah, this piece right here, we'll definitely have photos of it on our Instagram and our stories really soon, because that's what we're gonna start doing, especially this month. Just posting a lot of artists' work, on our story, and have you guys, really, and gals, have you just see more content related to you know hmm, artists' creations versus artists' shows. So more the creations, less of the promotions is what we've been thinking about for our Instagram and other social media presentations. But as of now, I do want to, we want to wrap this up. But before we wrap up, we want to end with our love cards. And these are these cards that was made by an artist that I met in New York a couple years ago. And, they just cards that just remind us to love. That's what I call love cards. So I'm just going to pick the first one right here on top on my little weird shuffle I just did, a little freak shuffle. And just listen. Just listen. Listen. Listen is the word on this love card. And I think this is important because listening, when you listen, that is really loving. Because when you listen, you understand, and understand is the love. So listen, and that's our love card for this week. So go forth and listen, and we'll be back next week from Toll Booth to Bentley Podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Bryson. Love.